Rukus Avenue Radio.
Recording.
Pablo, I'm still single.
Yeah, but you know why
What can I
that is?
do?
No, you know why that is, don't you?
I need to get a genetic thing done.
Well, you need some hair first. Anyway, moving on from there, we're talking about being single and about finding out who you're genetically tied up with because of a show called The One on Netflix. And our friend, it's a lovely, lovely lady, Pallavi Sharda joins us. Which country are you in, Pallavi?
I'm in Canada, guys. Hello from Toronto.
Hello.
So,
Pablo,
okay.
what are you doing in Canada?
I'm about to shoot a film called Wedding Season.
Oh.
Shocking. It's a Netflix rom-com. It's cool.
Well, can I just say, that's quite apt after doing The One. Now you've gone to the wedding season, right?
I know. It's like a weird theme. And
Okay.
also, you know, I'm starkly single. So this is just amazing.
Well, you know what? I have been so excited to talk to you. And you know that because I've been like, when can you speak to us? I watched The One. And I have to say, at first, when I knew what it was about, I was like, oh, I'm scared. And then when I actually watched it, I binge watched it, I have to say. And when I saw you in it, I was like, oh my God, I know her. I know her. And it was amazing. Firstly, let's talk about you. You look so sassy. It's unbelievable. You look amazing.
Oh, really? Thank you. I got really out of it when we were shooting it because I was on my way back to Australia and I got the call being like, I know you're at LA airport and you want to go home because I'd been on the road since I'd seen you guys in London for Beecham, I guess.
Yes.
I just kept like, you know, working in Australia, London, back and forth. And I just finished Tom and Jerry and I was tired after 3 months of that. And I was like, Bristol, 3 months? I don't know. So my agent was like, what is wrong with this person? And so I was very tired when I started shooting it, but I got into a groove, I think, towards the end of it. As you can see, I just was like, I'm going to be Australian, guys, just let you know.
No, but you know what? It was something that's so complex. I try to put myself in your shoes. I thought, if I was doing something like this and I'd filmed it, I'd be questioning any relationship that I'd had in the past or that I do have in the future. Did you kind of feel like any of it was rubbing off?
Do you know, it was really interesting because I think that year was also the first time I turned my mind to like dating because I've been single on the road and like I just haven't really warmed to the apps. I'm like, I can't in India, I couldn't be like, I'll go on Tinder. Like that would have been a disaster. And then, you know, even in Australia, I'm like worried about people knowing me or whatever. So it's just like, I can't do it. But then I was in Bristol and this is like the big reveal that I can only say to you guys because you're my mates. And now I forget that it's going to be wrong. But I was like, I'm going to try online dating while I'm playing Megan because I want to experience what this is. So I actually went on a few first dates while I was shooting it in a strange city because, you know, Bristol, no one knows any, like, you know, there was...
For research purposes, of course.
Yeah. And it was good to know what she was experiencing in terms of the frustration because I was playing someone frustrated by that process. And I was like, I don't know what that means really because I don't date per se. So yeah, it was interesting, kind of like chicken and egg situation where later I was like, now she's got me into this. Like, damn. Now
you know what would have been even funnier is if you had said, and guess what, guys? I met the love of my life and now I'm getting married.
So, but are you swiping all the time now?
No, not at all. Not at all. Oh my gosh. I had a pretty crap experience, actually. I love talking to you guys because like the things I say to no journalists, I'm just like, but we were in lockdown. So I left Bristol, finished shooting that and then went to the States for a bit. My nanny passed and then I went to Sri Lanka for a holiday. Thank you. And then stuck in Sri Lanka, COVID, bang. So get on a flight to Melbourne. Melbourne goes into the most insane lockdown in the world last year. Like it was crazy. It was before everybody else understood how serious the lockdowns need to be. Yeah. And I am at home in my childhood house, like in my childhood single bed.
Oh my God.
Like seriously, and my friends who are comedians are like, you realize you have to write a show about this, right? Like Bollywood actor comes back and lives with parents in suburban house. And I was just like, no, it's too traumatic. I can't write about it. But I then, because of that, and like my brother's childhood dream was my study because I was writing my book, and I was like, I'm getting on the apps. I'm swiping. So I'm like swiping from my parents' house in Melbourne. Like it was the most perverse thing I've ever done. I went on like 2 dates, I think. And the second one I thought would be a winner, but he ended up being a terrible human. And then I was just,
no.
I'm off. I know. So now I'm just using your show as a marriage bureau.
You're more than welcome. But you know, were you surprised by the popularity of the one? I mean, given the subject topic, everyone's like, it's an amazing show.
I had no idea, first of all, because I've been shooting a movie in Queensland called Black Site, and it's literally about a black site. So we've been shooting in a bunker every day. And then you come up for air and you go to sleep in your hotel room or whatever. But, you know, when you're doing a film, you're just in that zone. Yeah. And a few things were happening, like wedding season got announced while I was there. And I was like, oh, can't be bothered. Well, I can be bothered, but like I couldn't pay attention to it. Yeah. And then the one came out. And it was only when my driver, a lovely girl called Molly, was like, you know, I started watching this show last night and you're awesome. And I was like, what show? I had no idea it had even released. Wow. And it became top 10 in Australia within the first week. Wow. So, and then some people were saying it was like #1 in the UK. I've just had no concept of it.
#1. It's me, and well deserved.
I have to tell you, Pallavi, because I phoned up Raj and I said, watch the one, it's one. And he's like, what? I'm like, watch the one, it's one on Netflix. And he's like, oh, maybe. And then I said, Pallavi's in it. And he's like, I'm watching it.
Yeah, no, and I think 2 weeks ago I was at Melbourne Fashion Festival and I was wearing this glittery gold dress walking around because I felt special after the final show. Right, it was a really special night because it was not with some friends. Like, piping, just be like, and so I was wearing this very conspicuous dress. I looked like a disco ball, but it was the first time I dressed up and gone out for ages. And everyone was like, what a nice dress on the street. And I was like, thank you. But then they'd hear my voice and 3 people that night were like, are you Megan from the one? And I was like, what just happened? And I looked at my friend and I was like, did you see what happened? He's like, mate, you've been borderline famous for a while. I was like, no, but no like random Aussie person has come up to me and said that ever. Because they were excited that I had an Australian accent and had never seen that, I think, an Indian girl with an Australian accent on screen.
Take that back, what you just said, borderline famous. You were famous from day one.
Aw, thanks. I know this is just like my suburban humble origins. I can just never get over them.
But have you found that thing like especially in terms of work and the atmosphere in terms of press, media, and the attention you're getting, it's changed since the one?
I don't do any, you know me, I've never done any publicity. I've never had a publicist in my whole career. I need to be smarter. I know we'll talk about this after this. But like Tom and Jerry released today in Australia. It's like the major. Tom and Jerry. I know. And my mom and dad are like, you're really bad at handling your career. Like they're so fed up now. My dad's like, one day we're in the supermarket during COVID and he's like, you went from nothing and you became Bollywood star with Rishi Kapoor and then you left it. And now you're doing it again. Like he's so frustrated.
Can I just tell you, Tom and Jerry has already taken $85 million this year. 85. It's one of the biggest hits of the year.
Thank you. I'm the second female lead in that. I just haven't registered.
Hello. And can I just congratulate you on something you probably don't know? Elle magazine in Australia has named you 2021's It Girl.
What?
Did you not know this? We were waiting.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to get my agent to reach out to them and be like, do you want to do an interview with them?
See, you know what? This is what we should do. We should do an interview with you, just so that you can catch up what's going on in your career.
Every few months, I'll be like, guys, what's the status out there? What's happening out there, guys?
Was it Beecham House that changed everything for you in the sense you've gone away from India now?
You know, no, it was before that. I think it was before that. It was like, I mean, you guys know that I was taking a break from Bollywood quite consciously. Yeah. And I think the work kept coming, you know. After Beecham, I did Les Norton in Australia with David Wen and Rebel Wilson, which is sort of a cult Australian show. Yeah. Then we didn't get picked up for series, but I was the lead in Triangle, which was a Disney ABC pilot in the US. So that was a big deal to be like the lead in a US network TV show pilot. That was 2 years ago. I flew from Cannes, direct to Auckland, shot it, went back to finish Les. Finished Les Norton, got offered Tom and Jerry, flew from set to Heathrow, started work. And then on my way back from Tom and Jerry, it's just been no time to breathe. And I actually shot a show during lockdown. I was the lead of an ABC show in Australia called Retrograde, which is quite funny. I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll try and send you some.
Check that out.
And I'm the lead in like an Audible scripted. I'm doing a lot of comedy now, which is exciting because that's always been what I've wanted to do. The two of the funniest women in Australia have directed this Audible scripted comedy, and then I just shot a film with Michelle Monaghan, and I'm the lead in this new Netflix movie. And I'm just like, my career's going really good.
No, it's good though. It's good. And you know what they say? Sometimes it's about what you give out is what you attract back.
Get back.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think the thing is, one thing I've always had is a very, very disciplined work ethic. And in India, sometimes that just didn't match up. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't actually yield rewards if you're hardworking. And that was what was tough for me going. Even when I was working doing big films, I was realizing a lot of my time was being wasted. Like months of my life went away in posing for a camera or like waiting on set. And what I love is like we're in March or April and I'm about to shoot my second film of the year. Like it's great. Wow. That wouldn't happen in Bollywood necessarily.
Well, they do say about Bollywood, there is a lot of waiting around.
Before you get a film, when you're in the film, after the film.
So how are you finding always traveling?
It was tough. It was tough. I mean, I've gone on my first plane ride in January for Black Site. So that was okay because I was going from Melbourne, which was harsh COVID while for Australia, to this beautiful oasis. Coming here and transiting through America last weekend has scarred me a little bit because we beat it. Like we don't have the virus in Australia. And I was full hazmat suit. You should have seen me at LAX. I was like, like, you know, shield on, gloves on, like walking around sanitizing, and people would just chill. And like in Detroit airport, masks below the nose, just crowding at me, you know, when we're getting off the plane. And I was like, whoa, guys, like just keep some distance. And it really disturbed me because my family's all American and my grandfather's in Buffalo, just across the border. And I was like, I get why you guys did not go outside because there just isn't that sense of, you know, I mean, Australia's a nanny state. That's a different issue. they were bound to do well in COVID. They're like, give us a rule. We just want to follow a rule.
Automation nannies.
I'm sure that's what my parents have adopted here as well. But you know what, I have to say, because like I feel like we've been on this journey with you in terms of
we have 100%.
And it's amazing to see you do so well. You're full of life and you're energetic, and it seems like you're really enjoying it.
Yeah, I am. You know, I think I've gotten to that point where it's like, who can say that they had a childhood dream when they were 3 years old and then they went and did it and then some more? You know what I mean?
Oh, like. God. You're an aspiration for everyone. You're doing it. No matter where you are, you just get on it and do it. Well,
my childhood dream consisted of my neighbor, and that date went terribly. So you've got one on me.
I have one of those as well. Don't worry.
But can we just say, you know what? It's been a pleasure talking to you as always, and best of luck. And we can't wait to see you back in England.
Thanks, guys. Let's talk soon. Let's talk more.
Absolutely. Love you
as well.
What was that?
You'll be in LA soon as well, so we might see you there.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me know. All right. I'm going to go play the trumpet now.
Best of luck. Bye-bye. Bye.
Rukus Avenue Radio.